everybody. How are you all doing today, this fine November day? I haven't posted a little tutorial on here in a while, so I thought, well, I'm not deer hunting and I'm not doing anything much, so why not make a little video for you guys. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you this. Basically, it's a shad color with an orange head. It is absolutely probably one of the hottest jigs that we made this past year. And it's going to start out with a piece of white neck hackle. And what we're going to do is cut the tip just about, probably about 1.25 inches of the tip, and we'll cut that off right there so that you end up with a piece, about like that. And then we're going to cut the rest of it into pieces that are about maybe 1 inch long, and that will create the V's, and I'll show you what that looks like. And you can use as much or as little as you want. So when you cut those V's end up looking like this. So what we're going to do is I start off and I glue all my jigs. Every single one of them gets glued. That's just how I do it. A lot of people have opinions on it. My opinion is, and how I learned, was everything gets glued. In this case, I'm just putting a little bit of Sally Hansen's on the shank of the hook. Now, what I'm going to do is take some white thread, and I've got this on a retractable bobbin. And what that is, it's a Norvise. It brings a line back in, brings a string back in. So I can just take this and do my base wrap, and you can see it will hold just like that. And then I don't have to wind it back up. So I'll start back with my thread base, which gives me a good base and a firm base in which to hold this tip that I'm gonna tie in. And I'm gonna tie that in kind of back here on the side, because as you wrap it, it's going to want to move the material over the hook, and this way it should get straight, or as straight as you can, right on the shaft of the hook. So I hold the quill right there, give it a loose wrap, and then wrap that in, and you can see that holds that real nice and straight, just like that on the hook. And now what'll happen is that glue that's not dry yet will help to hold this. So I'm going to take these V's now, and I'm going to stack a bunch of them on top of them. Yeah, some guys do 2, some guys do 3. I want the tail just a little bit thicker because of how I'm going to build up this body with hair. This is not going to be a chenille jig, so it's going to be just a stacked hair or dubbed body. So I've got these all stacked on here. You can kind of see how they are, and what that gives me the opportunity to do is I can hold this here and measure about how I want it to be. Then what I'll do is I'll grab it with my fingers right here, and that way I know I'm going to cut this much of this material. I'm going to cut off, and that's going to give me my length. This is going to go right up against the ball of the jig head. So I'll take this and cut it off just like that, and then I'm going to set this right down on top of that, and I'm going to do a loose wrap, and I'm going to tighten it down. I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to wrap it right back to the distance that I want that tail. And you can see that's flaring pretty good. So now what's going to happen, we got this little pack of hair that we're going to use, and I'm going to take a small clump of this out, to build this body. And how that's going to work is I'm going to take, and make a dubbing loop. And what a dubbing loop is, it's a loop that you'll bring your bobbin back, bring it up and over the shank of the hook, just like so. So you can see I've got a loop there. Now I'm going to tie this off behind it and in front of it. And then I'll wrap this forward. Now what I do is I take this over, take the bobbin over and dock it. So now I've got this loop here. So what are we going to do? Let me see if I can zoom out on this just a little bit and still keep you guys so you can see what's happening. So you can see this loop. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take this dubbing tool. Now you can do this with your fingers or whatever you want. This particular dubbing tool has a real good heavy kind of weighted handle on it. So I'll take that and I'm going to stick it in here and twist it, and it's going to catch that loop. So now you can see I got that loop, and as it'll open and close as I do take pressure off it, put pressure on it. So what we're going to do is take a little pinch of this hairline ice dubbing, and I'll take a small pinch of this. Not much at all, really. Let me get just a little bit more, because this will build up a pretty good sized body. Ooh, that's a pretty good pinch. So you can see I have about this much of it. It's just a little pinch. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to squish it all together so that I got a real good handle on it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to pull it apart, kind of loosen my grip and restack it. So I made 2 stacks. So it appears that I've made a little more, and then I'll do that again. And then I get to where I can't really pull it apart anymore. And you can see I got a pretty good pull on that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up this dubbing loop and slide this up in here and then pull down on it, and it holds that. And as it holds that, I'll take this and I'm going to spread this out. Spread it out pretty good and move it up. You can move it around quite a bit in this dubbing loop. And that's going to make for a good sized body. Now you can see that that's really pretty sparse. Okay, it doesn't look like it's going to do much of anything, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger. You can take your finger, you can take a bodkin, whatever you want, and I'm going to put it on the string and pull it back like this. And then you'll see, let me zoom out just a little bit more. You'll see I'm going to take this dubbing tool and I'm going to give it a spin. Now, that's spinning like crazy. Now watch when I take my finger off, because it only twisted it up to where my finger was. As I let this go, you're going to see it start to twist that. So right there. And now I can still move this around just a little bit in that loop. Get everything in proportion. Give it another little twist. And there's what it's going to look like as it's hanging. As that's hanging there. So this is going to create our body. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a pretty good amount of Sally Hansen's and I'm going to coat this thread. And you'll see me put a good amount. I just don't take it and wipe it on there. I want a good pile of glue on there, because that's going to help that jig hold together. It's going to glue everything to the shank of the hook, and then I'm going to give it a twist. Get it started, and then I'm going to come forward. And you'll see as you wrap, that hair will spread out on there. And that piece of thread will stop right there. And the thread that I'm using is a 210 denier thread, wax thread. I like that because it's nice and strong. So then I'm going to take my bobbin, I'm going to come back around, I'm going to go around it once, go around it twice, go around it 3 times and a couple times in front, and that's going to cinch down and lock it in tight, and then clip off the dubbing tool. And now you're done with the dubbing tool. So now I'll take it. I'm just going to slide some of these hairs back, put my whip finish tool on there, give it about 6 good whips, and I'll pull it good and tight, give it a few more, a little bit more, and that's that. And then you can take a dubbing comb if you want, and you can start to pick some of these hairs out just like a comb on your own hair, and it'll become one hairy little bug. And then that's what you have right there. You just have just an amazing little shad pattern bait with an orange head. I'm not sure in the springtime in any southern lakes or muddy lakes that's not one of the absolute hottest jigs on the market today. So I hope this helps you out. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. I'll try to answer it. If you like this content, please like and subscribe to my channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching.